Okay, so today's session is all about marketing and working on marketing campaigns in Jira. Today we are going to create your first marketing board, and if you ever already use Jira, I think this session also will be good for you to see different approaches to customizations and managing your work. So first of all, a little introduction, very shortly. I'm Selina. I work at Grid.io. I'm Atlassian creator over a year right now. I'm also a marketing person, so I know the struggle. I'm a Jira nerd, and currently I passed ACP 620, which is about managing Jira cloud projects. But the main thing you should know about me that I know that the struggle sometimes is real, and I know how it's hard to manage marketing campaigns where when we have lots of work that are jumping on and sometimes not planned very well. Okay, so what is our goal? Today, first of all, we are going to create your own Jira board and we are going to customize it. But my main goal is to help you understand that Jira is not a scary dev tool, but it can be a very helpful tool for you for your marketing teams. And this is a quick agenda for today. So first of all, we are going to do some very basics for definitions because I'm going to use them into the next hour. So I just want to make sure that you know what I'm talking about. Then we will learn how to create marketing project and how to create project in Jira at all. Then we will talk about boards, fields, and workflows and how to change them and how to customize them to your needs. We will also talk about some features like automations and calendar view. And we will also talk about some bonus tools that you should use if you will start working with Jira. Okay, Q&A will be at the very end. So if you have any questions during the presentation, just hit the chat and I will try to answer them at the very end. If there will be some super complicated question, I promise I will be back to you via email, but I think will be good. Okay, first of all, what I would like you to remember that anyone can create a free Jira workspace. So basically up to 10 users, it's free. And it's perfect for testing, learning, or also for real project. I, by myself, have many licenses from my work, of course, but also for my personal spaces. For example, I also planned my trips in Jira. So if your company doesn't use Jira, you can start it on your own. And now let's talk very briefly about 4 quite crucial definition. So work type, meaning issue types, because it was a change a few weeks ago. This is a type of task. So for example, you can have epic, bug, but also LinkedIn post, YouTube video. So this is exactly the type of task you are going to create. Workflow, those are steps your task go through. So for example, to do, in progress, published. It can be different for different project, different campaign, and so on. So for example, for dev teams, it can be, testing, staging, development, and so on. And for example, for YouTube video, it can be recording, editing, published. So this is the way your task is going through. Then we have a board. Board is a visual workspace to manage and track tasks. So this is the place when you basically pull your task into the next statuses, and you can where you can collect all your work items. And the last, custom field. this is extra info you define, like, for example, due date, or approvers, or reporter, or even channel like LinkedIn or YouTube. You can also create your own custom fields. Some of them are defined, but you can also create them for your own needs. So we will talk also about how to create them and how to make sure they are visible. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen and we are going down to the business, and let's create your first Jira project. Okay, share screen. Okay, so for this session, I created very new license. It's basically blank. I've done nothing here. So this is the view you will have when you will create it. Creation is very simple. You just go to the atlassian.com, sign up, and define some values like your name, your job, and so on, and you landed here. So first of all, here your navigation on the left side. And now let's create a project. As you can see, Jira provides many templates, even marketing templates. You can see here project management, go-to-market, campaign management, so on, so on. As you can see, there are many of them, but today I really would like you to be able to create your own blank project and customize it as you need. So let's go with blank project. First, name. Let's go with marketing, but the project with that name already exists. So let's go marketing campaigns, for example. And here we have show more. First thing, team managed or company managed. The main difference here is that company managed needs to have admin. And it's more for bigger project, cross projects, for example, for testers, developers, for many roles. So at this point, I highly recommend team managed for teams who are quite small and don't need access to other spaces, other boards, and for teams who are quite independent. So let's stick to the team managed. Key is generated automatically, but you can, of course, change it. And here you can choose also access. I think limited is the best one here. It means that as long as you don't invite somebody, they don't see your project. So let's create one. Here you can bring the team with you. You can also do it later. In team managed, you have 3 roles like administrator, member, viewer. Administrator is the highest permission level, so be careful who you are granting it to you. I think the best is to have it only by, for example, you as a manager or owner of the team. So let's skip it. I will also show you how to do it later. And here we go. So this is the very basic board. This is our board. Here, as you can see, we have lots of things which we can also remove, of course, if we don't want them, or they are distracting us, or so on. So I will remove some of them, for example, to show you how you've done. And also here you can add things. But first of all, let's stick to the project settings and issue types. So we need to go to the project settings here. This is our like the best place to customize it, everything, and to have eye on everything. You can do some changes here if you want to change your marketing campaign's name or project key. In Access, you can also add people. It's very simple. I won't skip it. You just need to paste the email and that's it. But let's go to the work types. By default, we have two, tasks and subtasks. Tasks is level 0 and subtasks is smaller than tasks, so it's like number -1. You can also create something from level 1, like epic. So epic is large amount of work, for example, a big campaign, and tasks will be the smaller pieces, and subtask will be like the very little pieces of work. But what, as you can see here, epics are larger. There are also story bugs, but those are specifically made for dev teams. But what I suggest you to do is to create your own work type. So, for example, every marketer probably uses social media. So we can create LinkedIn work type. Description, social media, posts, tasks. You can change icon here, for example, for this one, and let's create it. And in every task, we need to define some fields. Required is summary, of course. Description is also things you should leave here because we want to know what the task is about. But here you have context fields. It's a very simple drag and drop. So, for example, we don't need to use labels, so we can remove them. But we would like, for example, to show priority. If this is high priority, medium priority, and so on. So this is the very simple drag and drop here. Here you can, of course, see the values that are already defined by Jira. But what can you also do here? You can create your own field. In this team managed project, it's not so open as in company managed, but you still have some possibilities here. So, for example, let's add some maybe short text. So, for example, here field name, and we can type here, for example, I don't have anything in mind right now, but let's talk about short review of post. And so you can create any custom fields here you need, and it will be also displayed on your issue. You can also remove it as you want. Oh my God, I created lots of them, sorry. So this is, you can also create a number, for example, so how many channels, and somebody can here type like 7, 8, and so on and so on. So how many use cases, how many possibilities here. But let's stick to the very basic one here. So we need reporter, we need to know who created this task, we need assignee to decide who is going to be responsible for. Priority is okay, due date. Due date is very crucial in marketing, so make sure you always have a due date. I will show you later why, but it's a perfect way to keep your whole work very well tracked. But for example, start date, I'm not sure if we need it, we can just, no, we can't. Oh, what happened here? Okay, let's save changes and we'll see. Okay, I think it's required. So basically, it's very simple drag and drop here. You can also create more work types, of course, like here, YouTube, whatever. And you can also change this. You can add more custom fields here. You can remove those custom fields. So you can craft it as you need. And now let's see what we are doing here and where we can see it. So we are going to our board, and if we click create here, now we should see our work types here. And all the fields we choose before are also here. So when we, for example, GSM for IT teams, this is the post. Here you can choose the assignee, you can set the priority, you can choose the due date, and let's create it. It will be displayed in the first column always. And those are in details, those are those custom fields that we were configuring before. So if you add something new, it will be displayed here. If you remove something, it will also be removed from this section. Okay, so here we have our first issue or work item right now. So our first task, and we can change the path. But what if we need the different workflow? So once again, for example, if you need to have to do, in progress, and in review. So first of all, you can do it here. You can very simple add it here. You can choose the category. In review is still in progress. You can also try to combine it in a very different places, but this one is good. So this is the easiest way how to do it. But right now, as you can see, we can do everything with this task. So what's the point? Like if I'm already in review, why it should be moved to do, right? So now let's make sure it won't happen. So we need to build more comprehensive workflow here. Let's go to the project settings, work types, and for each work type, you can have different workflow, which is quite awesome because, for example, for YouTube, you need different workflow than for LinkedIn. For LinkedIn, it can be also like idea, in progress, approved, and scheduled. But for YouTube, we need editing, recording, and so on and so on. So different stages for it. So let's work on LinkedIn workflow, and it's here. As you can see, our in review section status is like is here. So first of all, let's push it here. And this little any and arrow means that these tasks in this status can be moved to any different status, which is exactly what we don't need right now. So what you have to do, it's very simple to delete it. I'm doing it with backspace right now. If it's red, it means that there is no transition and we need to add it. So you just link it and you need to name it somehow. In review, oh, not this. We should have in progress and then in review. So as you can see, it's quite easy to manage, to in progress, for example. Here we can make to in review. And here, go down. If you need the transition to the other way, for example, if in review need to go back to in progress, you need to add one more transition. So it's quite simple, as you can see. You can also put it vertically, horizontally, just simple moving it. It's very, very simple. So this is building workflows at the very, very early stage. But I think that for your beginners and for marketing, it can be quite enough. But let's talk about one more super cool thing here, which are approval. So for example, if you need to in review and you need to set approval that somebody needs to approve the work. For example, you are the project manager of marketing team and you have in progress tasks that somebody is working on, for example, an intern, and an intern wrote the article blog and you need to review it. And you need to be sure that only you can review it. So it's very simple. You have to add the approval. Here you have. Let's click on the right status, and then set up approval. Here you have to select the approvers. I'm the only one right now in this license, so there is no other possibilities. But if you add other people here, they will be listed. And if not, you just need to start typing their name. Here you can have the approver field. So you need to create custom fields needs approvers. So in this section with custom fields, you need to drag and drop to your issue type approver. And here you just simple if choose the transition. So if the task is approved, it's going to be done. If it's declined, it's going to be back in progress. So this very simple way to create the approval process, and in marketing is very often needed. For example, we have approval process on YouTube video when the speaker needs to approve this this material, so we create the approval process on the status right here. Okay, so this was the very basic thing about workflows. Let's update this workflow. Oh, all right. 1 second. When you're updating workflow, you can also select the issue type you want to copy this workflow to. So for example, if you need this workflow to be only for LinkedIn issue type or for YouTube work type, this is the same, remember, issue type and work type, then you can simply, don't choose it, or you can also choose everything. It depends on what you need in your board. So this, I think, will be quite okay in every general type of works, but if you need to create something more unique, then you can choose here only this one work type. Okay, let's go back to our board right now. Here you have also very simple navigation when you can go back to your board with one click. So right now we talked about how to create new work types, meaning issue types, and how to create different workflows for issue type. And now let's see. Let's create one more work type, for example, YouTube. And now this is a new feature that Atlassian released, I think, last month. So right now you can also add new board to your navigation. So I'm creating a new board and let's name it YouTube, because I want to have here only YouTube things, nothing else, only YouTube. So when I go to filter and choose, when I go to filter and choose only YouTube, I will have only YouTube things here. You can change the navigation here. For example, here, I don't know how it's not right now. So for each issue type, you can create the separate view. For example, let's create one more. Let's call it LinkedIn or social media, as you want, as you need. And in filter, you can choose only LinkedIn. So if you would have here LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, you could choose 3 work types and you would have this here. Also, it's here you should also save your board to make sure that this filter is not resetting. So right now we have YouTube board, the main board with all of them, and the LinkedIn board. In my personal job, we have newsletter board, YouTube board, social media board, and event board, and it's super convenient to manage those tasks. Now, let's make sure, let's go to the main board. We have only 2 tasks, but I think it still will be visible. We have due date here, and let's set due dates here. You can also updating those fields from this site, of course. So for example, let's set for the last day of April. And now let's choose calendar feature. Calendar feature can be your Excel, can be your Sprout, can be your other tools for preparing content calendar. So for example, as you can see, this is April view. And we see exactly which tasks should be done on each day. If we will have 2 tasks in one day, it will be simple like this. And this date is automatically updated here. So you can also manage these tasks from this view. You can also filter, of course. In our case, it's the best to filter after the work type. So you can filter to see every social media post in this month that should be prepared and should be published on each date. So I really use this feature, this calendar view, and it helps me to keep my eye on every single piece of work that should be done. And it eliminates missed deadlines and so on. If anything will be after the deadline, it should be red, as you can see here with a clock. And if anything would be already done, I've changed status for done, it will be green and crossed. So as you can see, this is quite a game changer here. Okay, the last thing we should talk about right now are automations. As this is a very beginner session, we will talk about it quite briefly, but I still want to make sure that you can create very simple automation. Okay, this is a skip tool. So why do you need automations? For example, as a marketers, we have recurring tasks. For example, I sent newsletter each Tuesday. I published YouTube video each Monday, and so on and so on. So if you don't want to create the tasks 4 times per month, for example, you can create automation rule, and this automation rule will do it for you. So for example, let's right now create the rule that will create the task 1 per month about analytics. So this is also very simple, drag and drop, and quite logic game. So we have here triggers. Triggers can be different. For example, trigger can be, of course, when issue is created, but also when issue is updated, and so on and so on. So let's go to the work item and add work item created, meaning that when somebody creates here the tasks, this automation rule will be. Okay, then what? Then add action. Let's see what will be the best here. Or maybe let's create automation that when, okay, I know, let's create the automation when somebody create the social media work type, it will be assigned to the specific person. It's also quite common. So for example, if we have in our team social media manager or specialist, the all issue types connected with social media will be automatically assigned to them. So for example, you can here specify user and me once again. So when work item is created, then assign to me. And now we should also add conditions. So for example, work item fields condition. So for example, here, if issue type equals LinkedIn. And turn on the rule. So this is a very simple way to make sure that you don't need to create each time every single piece of work that you have to do. So other use cases here are, for example, monthly reports, weekly newsletters. You can also use variables here. So you can create, you can schedule, you can create the automation that will schedule creation of tasks with dates. For example, reports analytics March, reports analytics April, and so on and so on. So the only thing you need to do is to use your brain and just to collect the items. From here, you can also see approvals that you've set. Team managed also allow you to create forms that are quite okay for in-house things, like for example, events organizations, but you can't send them to people who are not in Jira, who doesn't have Jira license and aren't added to your company, to your organization. So if you need to create some form for your customers and so on, this feature won't be a fit for you. But if you need to create a form, for example, for Christmas event and who is going and who's not, the forms is okay. But each answer is created already in tasks. So to sum up this board view, the main features that are the best for marketers are creating separate boards for different issue types. Create issue types that you need. So, for example, LinkedIn, newsletter, events, internal communication, and so on. Calendar to make sure that everything is on time. which also you can manage from this view. And approvals. Automation are also a game changer, especially when you have lots of recurring tasks. Okay, that was it from the team managed project creation here. I hope it won't make you confused, but I promise you that once you create it, it will be very easy to start working with it. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my presentation. I have still a few things here. Yeah, so of course, Jira is not the only tool that you can use. As a marketer from Atlassian Suite, first of all, Confluence. Confluence is a place when you can store your docs, your strategies, your analytics, everything, your reports. So instead of using docs, you can start using Confluence, and it's very easy to link it with your work items. So for example, if you have created work items for monthly reports, you can link it to the Confluence page. It's very convenient, and it's good to keep it all over one place. Jira Service Management, it's quite more complicated tool because it's for managing tickets, which means that if you have, for example, an app and your customer is reporting an incident, they are creating tickets. But in marketing, I used to work with it also, and I use it to create partnerships hubs. For example, when I created the portal when other partners submitted tickets that they want to work with us. So I use it for cross-blog articles, I use it for partnership, for backlinks, and so on. Then Atlas. Atlas is a tool for setting and tracking goals. So if you are working on goals, on quarterly, half-year, or yearly goals, it's good to put them on Atlas because it's also easy to link it to your issue types and to your tasks, and to track which issue or which tasks is working for each goal. And last, Loom. This tool was bought by Atlassian, I think, 2 years ago, and it's completely game changer here. Really, it's a very cool tool to record quick videos with your face in a circle. I think you already saw that in some places. But now when Atlassian bought it, you can put it on Confluence page, you can put it in your tasks, in your work item, and it's super easy thing to give your team a feedback, or to explain something, or just to give them heads up what you are planning to do. So those 4 things plus Jira, I think, are ultimate for marketing, and then you can create the whole campaigns with it. Okay, one more thing here. So Jira is a very very wide tool right now, but it's not unlimited with features. So there is also a Atlassian marketplace when you can search different apps. So for example, if you need app for checklist or app for scheduling issues because you don't want to do it with automation rules, you can search on Atlassian Marketplace. Every app should be free up to 10 users. So you can also search here. I think that if you will think about some functionality that you need, it will be accessible on Marketplace, because there is lots of them here. And if your company already uses Jira, you have to ask then your admin to install it. So yep, I think now it's time for your questions. This session is, of course, recorded, and I will send it to you after. I also want to prepare a short one-pager for you with the most crucial things. So you will get the email, I hope, today. But let's see if we have any questions. Can you show us how to add approvals to a workflow? Do you need it still, or it's already answered? Because I've done that. So I think, but we can go back one more time. So, for example, if you need an approval to one of your issue type, you have to go to the project settings. You can set approval also here, but you can also do it from this view. You choose the status, you add the approval, you set who is going to be approver, you need to create the custom field, and then you create transition. If approved, which transition should be performed, and if declined, where tasks should be go back. Already answer, yes. Can you create tasks from the calendar view directly? Yes. Here you can very quick create work item. You can define the work type or issue type here, and just write the summary. So, for example, event promo post you created. It's already past deadline, so let's move it here. But yes, so you can also then open it. As you can see, this is our summary, and then you can put more details here. Any else questions? Anybody? If you will have I need to stop showing my screen. If you need to ask something, you can also reach me on LinkedIn. Feel free. I'm always happy to answer. We can brainstorm a little bit. If you have some unique needs or some quite tricky workflows, or you have to create some custom fields, just reach me out LinkedIn, and we can help you. One more thing. This is our newsletter from Grid.io. You can scan the QR code and sign up for it. It's actually worth it, because we share one Jira tip each week. Some of them are quite more advanced, but some of them are also for beginners. So it's a good way to learn and to make your knowledge bigger. And I think we can wrap it. We have still 10 minutes, so if you have any question, you can drop it. And if not, Thank you very much for your time. I hope it was quite useful for you. Now let's go and create your own project and let me know how it went.